Hello everyone, this is Stephanie, your host. Welcome to the Untold Rock History. The previous chapter was all about
Would you happen to know where the family moved after they sold the property?
I'm afraid not. No one ever mentioned anything to me about what happened to the family who used to live here. My grandfather might have known, but he's been dead for decades now.
So the owner of the bookstore isn't related to Mr. B anyway, and no one knows what happened to his family.
I do know the family sold the content of the library along with the property. It contained a number of hard to find titles, which still remains here at the shop.
Which that the book owner takes an old book off the shelves, holding it out to you and Eddie. Eddie, look! Yep, the Apology of Socrates, and it's M and J book first edition. This is it.
I would be surprised if this is the last surviving copy. What's more, the original owner took great care of it, and it's in extreme good condition.
Eddie takes the book from the store owner and opens it. Inside, he finds a photograph stuck between the pages. It's faded brown photo showing a young man wearing a flight suit with goggles around his neck. He's smiling as if he doesn't have a care in the world. Could the man in the photo would be? I think it is. I rather return the photo to the books bookstore owner. Once you return to the St. Sarah house with Eddie, you tell Mr. B what happened at the bookstore. So that's what happened. I'm sorry, Mr. B, weren't able to find anything about your family.
Oh, please, no need to worry. I told you before, regardless of what you found out, it's far better I know that than hanging here forever. I can thank you, the two of you, enough for what you've done for me. Oh, and if I weren't stuck hanging here, I'll be coming right down there and give the two of you a big hug. Thanks, but that won't be necessary.
And with that, your very odd encounter with the jolly skeleton of the House Saint Sark comes to an end. Chapter 14: The Journalist of the Future. Tomorrow, we'll be giving our presentation for the Journalist of the Future. I've got all of my materials ready, so all I have left is to do is input the finishing touches on my speech.
Are you going to the library again? Hitting the books hard as usual, huh?
Alex, what happened to Morgani? I don't see her with you.
She and I aren't in a relationship. You know that, right? Yet you still make a point of asking me, which means that you still have feelings for me. But that's not what I want to talk to you today. The day of the competition is almost upon us, right? I understand that the topic of your presentation is going to be how saints are. If by chance you're planning on exposing any of the secrets or about me or my organization, I plan to stop you any way I can. Even it's you, I must do so.
Alex speaks to you in a low voice, narrowing his eyes. He fixes his eyes on you and stares. I see. So you came to threaten me, huh? Alex always wants to protect St. Sarah House. I understand how he feels. Uh, how did he and I end up this situation? How did our relationship come to this? I wish we could start all over, or I want you to start to trust me, Alex, or I can't promise anything.
I don't regret revealing my identity to you. However, I do regret pushing you away from me. I regret it deeply as I know how much I've hurt you. I was planning on apologizing to you someday. I wanted to ask you if there was a way of us to start all over. I feel the same way you do, Marie.
Alf reaches up and touches his hand to your cheek. It feels so nice that you find yourself leaning in and resting your cheek against it. He always looks so brave, as if fears nothing. The quick, very soft kiss lingering on your lips as he backs away.
I'll be at a competition tomorrow. I look forward to hearing your speech. Hey Marie, how's your preparation for the competition coming?
Hi, Eddie. It's going well. I just need to work on polishing up my speech. Looks like I'm going to spending the night at the library.
I'm going to be at the competition tomorrow. I'm looking forward to your presentation. Here's hoping you come out on top. By the way, Mr. B from St. Sar sent me an invitation to a party. Apparently, they're calling it Death Day Party. That's right, not birthday party, but Death Day. I'm think I'm thinking of going, but I've never dreamed of going to a party at the Saint Sar house, you know?
I know. Still, I think this is a real change for the better, Eddie.
Since I was a child, I've been trained to be a hunter. Both my father and my teacher put me through rigorous training, teaching me how to banish demons. It was draining both mentally and physically, and I kept thinking that I wouldn't have to keep training if we could just eradicate every last vampire from the face of the earth. And no other kids would have to in the endure it in the future either. They won't have to go through what I did.
Eddie, it's only natural that you feel that way. It's not your fault. You're right, even so. That's how I felt as a kid. I kept wondering why I was born into a family of hunters. Why couldn't I just be a normal kid from a normal family?
Maybe it's the same for vampires, werewolves, and reapers. What if they didn't want to be what they are? What if they can't help it? I've never imagined the day that I'd feel this way. Having met people like Mikey and Mr. B has changed my perspective. And Marie, you've made the biggest difference more than anyone.
Eddie, you're not the only one who sees the world in a new light now, because I feel the same way you do.
But your topic for tomorrow competition is how to inside, right? What are you planning on telling?
That's a secret. You're going to come and listen to my speech tomorrow, right? I'll be looking for you in the audience.
Later that night, you wake up to find yourself in a corner of the library that's now mostly deserted.
Ah, oh no. I must doze off without realizing it.
Once you've awakened and you have a wit about you, you turn to look at your laptop when you realize that there's a blank you've never seen covered you. So there's a beverage left by the computer that you're sure wasn't there earlier. That to-go cup bears the logo of the shop you always visited.
It's a Trenta size hot coffee and it's still warm. This is what Max used to order. Could all of this be from him?
You pull the soft blanket over your shoulder. Then you pick up the cup and take a sip of coffee. The aroma and flavor wake you up fully and fills you with a wonderful, happy feeling. Suddenly, you feel the urge to take another look at the photos you've taken at St. Sarah House, which are material for the presentation.
Alex looked fantastic on a vampire night. Even girls in the club was looking at him. This is from the night I was invited to St. Sarah House for the first time. Back then, I still don't know the truth about how St. Sarah, who Alex really was. I didn't know anything at all. This is this one was from the movie night. Alex had lots of fun together with Eddie, Eugene, and everyone in the house. as if he was just a regular guy. It was the night of the thunderstorm, and I found out the truth about who Alex really was. I learned that he was a vampire, a being that came from the shadow but lived secretly among us in the human world. Which why they live in the human world? Do they want to hunt humans and feed on their blood like Eddie said before? I don't think that's their only reason. Just a little further more to go. I want this to be perfect. And and so the big day finally arrives. The Journalists of the Future competition is underway. Taking the stage, you begin your speech. If I were to ask you what the oldest, most storied, and most mysterious place here at Rosedalville is, what comes to your mind? That's right, the St. Czar House. In fact, the name Saint Czar is of special significance. It has a certain dignity to it. It has it has been the way before the founding of the university, and it remains that way this day. But is that all the name Saint Czar means to us? Is that all we think of when we meet people from House Saint Czar? For most of us, the answer is no. We consider them special fellows with a list of numbers of different emotions: respect, jealousy, longing, awe, and yes, even prejudice. I used to be the same way. I thought of them as being on another level in a way, different from the rest of us. My opinion of them was heavily biased. It's true, if I were to sum up how I feel about them, I'd say, would they be? I thought they were weird and eccentric people, or I thought they were from a different world, or I thought I thought they were monsters. Definitely not the third one for sure. The second would be, or I thought they were from different world, eccentric. One of the mistake you may make is to judge people before you even meet them. You never find out who they really are that way. I was lucky enough to be invited at the St. Sarah House because I got to know the organization and its member well. I, I was especially impressed how everyone our possesses has special talents, how unique its members are, what a long and interesting history has. Prejudice narrows your mental field of view. It limits your ability to see and perceive. I did the same to me regards to how saints are. The more I know them, the more I realize that I had assumptions about them that weren't proven true. I'd say that the real turning point probably came during a discussion with a childhood friend of mine. I learned just how talented the members of Saints are, and I learned how very human they are as well. I learned how very kind they are as well. I learned how special the abilities. Getting to know how Saints are and its members was a life-changing experience for me. It felt as if a new world had opened up to me. I think I'm not the only person who has been influenced by their existence. I'd like everyone out to learn how to find the courage to overcome prejudice, to work to get to know other people, and if you want to get to know someone, you must first learn not to push them away, not to fear them. Put yourself in their shoes. And if I may, there's someone in particular I'd like to thank for helping to teach me is my dear friend.
Hmm, or this.
The speech ends up going smoother than you imagined it would. Feeling you're very feeling very confident in yourself, and you deliver the conclusion to your speech, at which you're greeted with a loud and ecstatic round of applause from everyone in attendance.
Marie,
Max, are you on your way home? I was about to head back myself. The reception for the competition was has just ended. Thank you for coming to watch my speech today. I saw you from up on stage. I even saw the other people from House Saint Sar.
yeah, I'm happy to came to see. I don't know how much about journalism, but what you said in your speech was something even I could understand. It was a really great presentation. I wanted to tell you that, so I waited for you to finish with everything. Marie, I owe you an apology. I'm sorry for what happened at that night. I was overconfident. I was a fool. I thought I had everything under control. By being with you, I thought I could change myself. I thought I would be normal like you.
You're fine just the way you are, Max. You don't need to change.
I want to improve myself so that we can be together. There was a party coming up soon. I hear it's a celebration of the founding of Saint Sar. How Saint Sar everyone was calling it that day. Marie, I was wanting you to go with me as my date, of course. You don't have any answers right now. Just let me know once you make up your mind. I'll be waiting.
Hmm, Marie, great job. You were so amazing. There today, I almost felt in love with you. Yeah, well, I think I'll be pretty awesome having you as a girlfriend too. But it looks like all of the men in your life aren't about to stand aside and let me have you. You're just too fantastic. Hey, you got a letter from Alex? Check it out. Not a text or an email, an actual letter. Isn't that cool? He's an old, he's a real old fashioned kind of guy. A letter from Alex? Let me see.
Taking the letter away from Sue, you quickly open the envelope. Inside, you find
What's that? An invitation? That's weird. Is that all that's inside? Yeah.
turning the card over, you see Alex's handwriting.
Hey, 6 p.m. Will you come pick me up? Come on in. The door is open.
Hey Marie, great job out there today. You must be tired.
Yeah, I am. But the feeling is of the accomplishment outweigh that I've been working all this time in preparation for today.
As I listened to your speech, I couldn't help but to think that journalism isn't about reporting facts to people. It's also about moving people, about shaking them out of complacency. It has the power to alter someone's values and change the world. You're the sort of person who can do that, Marie.
Eddie, if that's the way you felt when you heard my speech, it makes me extremely happy.
My feelings for you hadn't changed since the age of 7 when I met you for the first time. If you feel the same way about me, would you go with me to House Saint Sar? Saint Sar, that day party. I'd like you to be my date.
Oh no.
I have a faith that you choose me in the end. Good night, Marie.
The chapter 14 of the Untold Darkness the Ranges Hunted. Well, there's all I can say is like Marie, the main character, has a tough choice next, and the last chapter for this book. So you get beside three guys. Which one's the lucky one? Is it Alex? Is it Eddie, your high school childhood friend? Max the werewolf? And Alex the vampire? Anyway, we'll see to find out in the next chapter. Uh, Thank you guys for watching my video. Please do like, make comments, and subscribe to watch the last episode of this